One of the key objectives of this course is to foster an appreciation for literature as a vital source of cultural knowledge in daily life. Literature is frequently regarded as a collection of made up fiction intended to entertain, amuse, or simply provide an escape from the real world. Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, everyone. I am Jensen Abajo of English 3B, and today we'll be talking about the purpose of literature. So, let's begin. Although literature does serve these purposes, in this course, one of the ways that we will address the question, what is literature for? Is by demonstrating how literature can provide us with significant insights about the environment in which we live, as well as our relationships with one another and ourselves. In this sense, literature can be thought of as a medium for the investigation and discovery of our world and culture. It allows us to explore alternate realities, see things through the eyes of someone very different from ourselves, and reflect on our own intellectual and emotional responses to life's complicated challenges. So, it is possible to gain a strong knowledge of how we use language to make sense of the world by studying literature. According to the literary scholars Andrew Bennett and Nicholas Royle, stories are everywhere, and therefore, not only do we tell stories, but stories tell us. If stories are everywhere, we are also in stories. From the moment we are born, we are surrounded by stories. We are often told to us by our parents, family members, or community. Some of these stories are ones we read to ourselves, while others are ones we tell ourselves about who we are, what we want, what we fear, and what we value. Although not all of these stories are classified literary, we will gain a better grasp of how studying literature may help us learn more about ourselves and the society in which we live in this class. So, how does literature enable us in making sense of, or better yet, questioning the world and our place in it? It appears strange to suggest that literature does a specific type of work when we think of other topics such as math or physics. However, we generally understand that the abilities we gain from learning these lessons enable us to tackle real-world problems. So, is it possible to say the same thing about literature? It is necessary to comprehend the type of knowledge that literature delivers in order to comprehend the type of job that it is capable of. And this is a difficult and contentious issue among literary experts. However, thinking about how we use language to make sense of the world on a daily basis might help us grasp the types of information that can be learned from literature. Now we're moving on to the functions of literature. We have here 8 functions of literature, starting with entertainment function, known as pleasure reading. And in this function, literature is used to entertain its readers. It is consumed for the sake of one's enjoyment. Social and political function. Here, literature shows how society works around them. It helps the reader see the social and political constructs around him and shows the state of the people and the world around him. Ideological function. It shapes our way of thinking based on the ideas of other people, wherein literature also displays a person's ideology placed in the text consciously and unconsciously. Moral function. Literature may impart moral values to its readers, wherein the morals contained in a literary text, whether good or bad, or absorbed by whoever reads it, thus helps in shaping their personality. Linguistic function. Literature preserves the language of every civilization from where it originated. So there are also evidences that a certain civilization has existed by recording the language and preserving it through wide spans of time. Cultural function. Literature orients us to the traditions, folklore, and arts of our ethnic group's heritage. It preserves entire cultures and creates an imprint of the people's way of living for others to read, hear, and learn. Educational function. Literature teaches us many things about the human experience. It is used to portray the facets of life that we see and those that we would never dream of seeing. Literature, therefore, is a conduct for the chance to experience and feel things where we can learn things about life. Moving on to the final function, historical function. Ancient texts, illuminated scripts, stones, tablets, etc., keeps a record of events that happened in the place where they originated. So they serve as time capsules of letters, that is, studies by scholars and researchers of today. Here are some facts about literature that you should know. Literature improves your command of language. It teaches you about the life, cultures, and experiences of people in other parts of the world. It gives you information about other parts of the world which you may never be able to visit in your lifetime. And it makes you wiser and more experienced person by forcing you to judge, sympathize with, or criticize the characters you read about. And that concludes my presentation. Thank you so much for listening and have a great day.